Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of Cooking with a Network here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we will be discussing oven cooked bacon and toaster cooked hash browns, which is basically a mix between breakfast and lunch for me right now at 12 o'clock. So basically, it's the first time I did oven cooked bacon, and I will say one thing that nobody said about in the DIY stuff there is that it has a lot of smoke if you cook it a little bit too long there, which I think is what happened with this one, because it said like 10 to 15 minutes or so, maybe 20 minutes even for that matter, but like, yeah, I think I probably should have left it in for about 10 and then checked it and then gone back after looking another 5 maybe or something. So the biggest pieces got almost perfectly done. Here's the plate of the bacon, obviously. Yeah, the biggest, fattest pieces like this got almost perfectly cooked through completely. Like they're nice and good and almost exactly what I want for them. However, that being said, the smaller ones that had a lot of fat on the end of them and stuff, they shrank down quite a bit in that 15 minutes and got a little bit of blackness on them. Like they're a little bit burned. This one actually got really, really toasty. So I think my oven's a little bit off is the problem too. So yeah, I've let this sit here for a few minutes and then it also, I should have laid 2 pieces of parchment paper on that because just one, it just soaked completely through it as what it was. And then I did I think it's Orida potatoes, hash brown things that it is here in the toaster out there. These, by the way, do not hold up the way that they should. Like they really are falling apart, basically, or pretty close to it anyway. The only reason my sister got me these ones is because they were out of the Giant Eagle brand the other day. And I mean, they look okay, but like these are, I think these are definitely meant to be more like fried in a than anything else. So I'm gonna go ahead and taste those first, and then we'll do a bacon taste test after the fact. So yeah, these definitely feel like they're soft as shit in the middle, even though I put them on for the exact same amount of time I usually put on the other ones for. So I can already tell you right now that these are a little bit not quite as good quality, I think, is what it is. Or maybe they need to be cooked a little bit differently is what it is then. So yeah, there's definitely a different taste to it too, for that matter. Yeah, not a fan of these Orida ones. So much prefer the Giant Eagle store brand, or even the Walmart brands for that matter. So it's good. And eat a couple pieces of this bacon real quick. Let me go ahead and take another paper towel here and wipe off a little bit of excess grease on some of these slices, so I'm not having issues later on. I don't know what the fuck happened last night. I don't know if didn't get all the grease off the pizza I was eating or what happened, but I ended up falling asleep out here a couple times, and then woke up about probably 2:30 this morning, 3 o'clock this morning, someplace in there. Tried to go to the bedroom, and between roughly about 2:45 to like 3:30, I was just in and out of the bathroom a bunch of times. So it's not good, man. All right, so this is one of the crispy pieces that got pretty crispy. Oh, just pretty good. That's obviously one of the real blackened pieces right here. Oh yeah, you can definitely saw it burn on that one. Yeah, it's definitely burned for sure. So I think what my plan is going to be is I'm going to take some of this, about half of it probably, make it into a sandwich or two, and then I'll take a lot of the less crispy shit, or not less crispy, but like the ones that are like the crispier pieces or whatever, and just simply move those and take them over and put them into a little baggie for later. That I'm going to throw into my fridge and I'll crumble them later on tonight or tomorrow or something. Them for I'm gonna do my next salad. Do some bacon bits on them then. Yeah, this didn't get quite as cooked because it was kind of stuck together there. You can tell it's like almost all the way cooked through it, not totally. Yeah, you can tell it's a little bit undercooked right there. Yeah, but that's okay though. Remember years ago, when I was at a, I forget if we were staying at a Best Western or what exactly it was some kind of hotel. They had their buffet thing there. Might have been a holiday, now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, they had their like morning buffet things, what it is. And they had a bunch of bacon on the thing. And I was like, ooh, bacon. And so I went to go grab the tongs to pick up a couple pieces. And I don't know who the hell was cooking this bacon in the back, dude, but they literally put it in for like maybe 5 minutes or less. And it was not even cooked through at all. And literally like half the fucking shit was all stuck together and stuff. And so I ended up throwing away probably like a good, I would say at least a half pound of bacon because it was so underdone. Where if they had just taken it back and thrown it back in the thing and, you know, fried it up properly and stuff like that, it would have been fine. I would have eaten it then. So, yeah, I don't know if they were oven baking it or what it was, but somebody obviously was not baking it properly, but it wasn't if that be the case. Or just not letting it sit in there for long enough to bake properly, then is what it is. So, but yeah, it was super disgusting in general. So, but anyway, we're going to take a bunch of these pieces right now and make ourselves a little bacon sandwich. What's all the burnt ones? Yeah, I was for my bacon very crispy and not like limp and disgusting. My sister-in-law likes it that way for some reason. I think it's because her mom didn't know how to cook bacon properly as it was personally, but yeah, it was not good. I even asked her a few times, I'm like, why do you like it like that? And she's like, oh, it's just good to like that. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, eat this piece right here. It's like much crispier, and she like took a bite off, and she's like, yeah, it's kind of good. And it's like, no, that's great. Put it on yourself. Because that's the thing. If you don't cook bacon the whole way through, man, you don't get all the fucking flavors of it. If it's all limp and like barely cooked, like you're not getting that like full like bacony carcinogeniness is what it is there. Or because the thing is, you have like it's like certain layers of bacon stuff is what it is, to where it gets cooked through and stuff. It adds more flavor to the actual mix is what it is then. So wash this down with the root beer here. Good old bacon and beer. The root variety. I don't drink real beer because I don't like it. I was not one of these alcoholics that went out to parties in high school. So I got the taste for that crap when I was in my teenage years. So yeah, I've had a couple beers in my life. I never found one I actually liked those. What it was. I prefer I'm more of a wine cooler guy. Like Smirnoff Ice or something like that's what it is. Or maybe some hard lemonade or something. Or some hard cider or something like that. I think actually this year I'm going to end up getting for the upcoming election. Because no matter what happens if Trump wins or loses, they try to cheat him out of it and whatnot. I want to have some kind of alcohol on the premises. So I think I'm probably going to go to some place and get a either a 4-pack or a 6-pack of that what do they call it, Martini and Rossi Asti shit, which is pretty good. My sister's friend who wrote a book, which her second book has not come out because it's like I believe it's a trilogy series that they're writing. Her and her sisters are. It's basically a Rorty Garden shit, more or less. My mom read the first book before she passed, and she said she liked it. She never got a chance to read the second one, unfortunately, but it's whatever. I don't think I ever read the first book, but yeah, we went to the book signing, and this girl's grandmother had bought everybody like little personal bottles of Martini and Rossi Ossi that we could take with us or drink there, is what it was, to celebrate. And we're like, now we're gonna take these with us and stuff. And then I popped one the one night. I think this was around New Year's of that year, and I drank some of it, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty good, man. And then I had my mom take a little bit because I was like, oh, you want the rest? You want your own bottle, or you want to have a little bit of mine, or whatever the case be? And she's like, no, I'll take a little bit of yours. And so I poured her out like about maybe a shot glass or so worth of the stuff just so you could take a little sip of it or whatever. Then she's like, yeah, I don't like that. And I'm like, really? Because this is really good to me. So it could be a taste buds thing though too, because I know over the years your taste buds do change. I think it's like every 7 years or so your taste buds are supposed to change or something. So if that be the case, my current taste buds might not be the same now as when I'm 42 years old. So if I make it to 42, obviously, because depending on how this country goes anymore, dude, if we fall in the next year or so, I'll be lucky if I make it to 40 then, if that'd be the case. So yeah, I will say these wrapped potatoes are not as good as or the Hashbrowns are not as good as the other ones are. They just have it's like a weird flavor to them. Like it tastes like they didn't cook through properly in the toaster there, which they should have, because you legitimately, like when I do the stuff, what I'll do with the other ones is I'll throw them in there, put it on the highest setting you can, and then you pop it down, and then it's about 3 to 4 minutes, give or take, and then it pops up, and then you pop it back down again. Let it do that a couple times, flip them, and then do it a couple more times. And I usually do it around 4 times, give or take, which is about anywhere from like 12 to 15 minutes, give or take there. And usually by then they're crispy enough to where they are, fully cooked through. At least the Giant Eagle brand are anyway. We've had a bunch of times. And the Aldi's brand too, for that matter, because I've tried those two as well. And yeah, I haven't had issues with either one of those ones. But yeah, these Orito ones are just, I don't know, man. It's like it cook all the way through or something like that. So I don't know if it's like, where they specifically are supposed to be put into an oven or a frying pan or something like that. That's what it is. Some oil and shit. Or an air fryer or something maybe. But yeah, it's just like, at least now I know for the future, like, yeah, don't ever buy these ones again then if that be the case. If they're the only ones that can be bought that day or whatever. It's like, nah, just don't get them all then if that be the case then. So, but yeah, my sister said she had to get those ones though because the other ones were out at the time. And I was like, all right, well, so be it then. But yeah, I kind of wish she had just said, forget it then. But anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, I definitely think I cooked this bacon just a little bit too long. I bet so arrange the thickest cut pieces on the very outside, and then gum like thinner on the inside, maybe. I think that's what happened. These were probably done about 10 minutes in, give or take, and they were just sitting there for another 5 minutes, still cooking what it was then. So, I mean, it tastes good, but you can tell there's like definitely like that burn taste to it, which is not as good. And especially when you compare it to some of these really perfectly done pieces. So we're even like this one right here. What it is. Yeah, that's perfect cooked right there. But anyway. So yeah, if I do that again at some point, I think I'll go about 10 minutes at 400 then. Let's do 15 then. And go from there then. But anyway. Let's see what's going on in the world right now since we're here anyway to do some stuff. Well, that would have been like a Smirnoff Ice or something like that, or like a Mike's Hard Lemonade or some shit like that. Last time I drank would have been, I think, my cousin's wedding. So that was like almost a year ago now. Or no, actually, it was more than a year ago now because it would have been summer of 23, I believe. So it would have been like July maybe of 23. June, someplace in there. Mom was still alive, obviously. She she was there for that, and then they had, I'm trying to think what the hell it was. I'll tell you one thing I will never have again though, is those disgusting ass, I forget what they are, it's like sparkling seltzer or some shit like that, or something. I forget what they call it, but it's like some kind of seltzer shit or whatever. There was one. This was a different party that was at the same place as it was because it was my cousin that got married this past year. It would have been her nephew. It would have been him and his wife's reception thing that they did after they got married by like Justice of the Peace or whatever it was there. And it was at that party that was when I found out my other cousin, that dude's sister, had become a trans man. And I was like, Jesus Christ, you are not a fucking trans man. You are a fucking female. Like, what did that college do to you? Because that's what it was, dude. She went to college and she fucking came out as a man now. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're fucking not. So, but yeah, it's just so retarded. And then more than half his friends were at that fucking party, like they were Antifa without their masks on. So, I'm like, yeah, it kind of makes sense now. Like, it's all the same bunch of leftist nutters is what it is there, bud. So, it is what it is, man, but I can give a fuck. I mean, for all I know, half those guys are like pro-Trump now is what it is, though. But who the hell knows? But yeah, she definitely went like full leftist nut, though, for sure. And it's sad, dude. It's like that one video I showed a couple times on Rumble of that girl who was like 19 or 20 or whatever when she started out, and then she was like 21 and then 22 and then like 24, 25 at the end of the thing. And it's now she's got like this fucked up beard and shit going on and everything. Except difference is my cousin, as far as I'm aware, has not gotten to that point yet. That being said, she's going to marry a dude. She's going to marry a biological male. It's like, so what you're really telling us is you're straight. You're just not wanting to admit it is what it is then. So I was actually having that conversation last night on this back shot with a couple people. About the whole transgenderism thing, instead of just being like, yeah, you're gay or whatever now. So I think that's the problem with so many people. They just don't want to take it original. They want to be that unique, special fucking snowflake is what it is. So anyway, what was I going to say then? I'm not sure if Milton is still a Cat 5 or not. Let's go check out Breitbart for a minute here and see what's going on there. Yeah, because it's supposed to be at some point today. It's supposed to make landfall there in Florida. I believe it hasn't already, for that matter. So let's go ahead and check this out. Hurricane Milton landfall. Okay, strengthens back to a Cat 5. Yeah, it went down to a Cat 4 for a minute there. Evacuation mandate in dozen plus counties. DeSantis, get out now. Democrats, 26 days from Election Day, begin to panic over Harris' electability. Strikeout fails to show how she would be a change candidate in 3 straight interviews because she wouldn't be. She's literally the fucking same old bullshit she's been for the last 4 goddamn years. An eligible fucking piece of shit is what it is, dude. You got DOJ considers asking judge to break up Google over search monopoly. Why the hell haven't they done that already is my question, dude. Like, seriously, it's fucking ridiculous that hasn't already happened, honestly. It's like, we literally have antitrust laws on the books for a reason, people. Like, use them. There's a thing called trust busting that used to go on back in the 19th and 20th centuries. Like, do it again in the 21st century. It ain't that hard, bro. When you're making a fucking monopoly, like, break up the goddamn monopoly is what it is. So. That's a good one. Kamala Harris's Glock is considered a, quote, unsafe handgun barred from sale by law she supported in California. Not surprising at all on that one. Not surprising at all on that one. Go ahead and pull it up real quick now. Represent there. We'll just read that article then for a few minutes. Yeah, so when Democrat Kamala Harris told 60 Minutes she owns a Glock pistol, she did not mention residents in her home state of California cannot own one because of the law she supported. Well, it depends, because depends on the generation too, obviously, because I think it's up to a Gen 3 they can't own according to the roster. That being said, you can only have a 10-round mag and stuff there, which I don't believe she owns a gun at all for that matter. And the fact that she named like the most well-known fucking handgun on like every single movie, TV show, etc., is just more proof of that, honestly, to me. Because she could have said a SIG or a Springfield or something like that. But she chose Glock. The only thing she really knows is what it is. So, anyway, it says California has a, quote, unsafe handgun act in 2001, which bars the importation and or sale of any gun that does not meet certain safety requirements set by the state. Coincidentally, the state maintains an approved handgun roster, which, by the way, is unconstitutional as fuck, and that's why they've been fighting that for years now in courts and stuff. And sure, it would be overturned at this point, honestly, just like the Radio B should have been overturned decades ago, because they're both unconstitutional things that it is there. But anyway, the handgun roster in California, which lists the firearms the state has deemed safe. According to California standards, the roster is what would-be California gun buyers reference to learn what handguns they can legally own. It says website for the roster says as of January 1st, 2001, no handgun may be manufactured within California, imported into California for sale, lent, given, kept for sale, or offered/exposed for sale unless the handgun model has passed firing, safety, drop tests, and is certified for sale in California by the Department of Justice. This is Glock handguns, which are some of the most popular handguns in the world. On the roster, in a very limited fashion, Glock was first introduced in the U.S. market in 1980 with Gen 1, and has run through various upgrades and enhancements, now in their fifth generation. Only Glock models approved for sale in California are Gen 3 models, and Attorney General Codis Morris explained that the Gen 3 guns are only allowed because they are grandfathered in at the time that the Unsafe Handgun Act was approved or adopted. This is apart from those Glocks that are grandfathered into the state of California, does not allow sale of the pistols, as they consider them, quote, unsafe handguns for lacking a compliant chamber load indicator, lack of magazine disconnect mechanism, and until our lawsuit, for quote, lacking a compliant, magazine disconnect, and until our lawsuit caused California to repeal the requirement, the lacked microstamping. So should we know that microstamping was not one of the requirements for approved handguns in California until implemented by the state's Attorney General Kamala Harris in 2013, because she's a fucking dumb cunt. There's no goddamn thing about fucking firearms. So it must also be pointed out that law enforcement is exempt from the parameters set by the Unsafe Handgun Act, which means the Glock that Kamala Harris potentially has, for AG of California or former DA of San Francisco owns, would not have been limited to the Gen 3 approved for consumers. Yeah, because she would have been a top cop in the fucking state. She would have been able to help the fuck she wanted. This was there, dude. Said all that is known about Harris's handgun is supposedly a Glock, and she told 60 Minutes that she shot it at the range a couple times. I don't believe a goddamn word out of her fucking mouth, dude, is what it is. Every time this bitch opens her fucking stupid mouth, she's lying through her fucking teeth is what it is there. So, anyway. Like, the thing I don't understand is, okay, I get the point of, like, the Democrats didn't want to lose all the money that Biden, et cetera, had. There's what it was, dude. Again, doesn't fucking matter. Choose a better candidate. Now, granted, versus Trump, there's not a whole lot of Democrats out there that would have won anyway. But the entire fucking point is, you don't choose this fucking stupid cunt that A, never won a goddamn race in her fucking life, and B, never even won a fucking primary. It's pathetic and disgusting is what it is, dude. Yeah, Kamala went on The View and said, what would make her different from Biden? There is not a thing that comes to mind. God, what a fucking retarded cunt, dude. Seriously, why is this cheater still in office is my question, dude. Like, why is she not being removed by force by the feds for literally high treason at this point in history, honestly? Because she should have been a while ago. So should Biden have been. Since they're both cheaters and stuff. So. Illiterate Kamala mocked as dumbest candidate after 60 Minutes interview. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that one either, dude. I gotta see this one. See, political pundits mercilessly mocked Kamala performance during 60 Minutes interview Monday after she delivered false, incoherent, and rambling statements. Because she has no fucking substance, dude. She's a complete retard. Her entire existence is based on the fact that she was good at sucking dick, literally. She blew Willie Brown, who was the mayor of San Francisco at the time, who made her an appointed fucking official, and then eventually got her in the DA's office, is what it was. And then from there, he ended up being, I believe, Speaker of the House of California at one point, and he helped her get in the AG's office. And then she basically told him, in so many words, to go fuck himself, and that she was going to potentially prosecute him after the fact, was what it was, there for crimes he committed and stuff like that. Even though the crimes he was committing was helping her ass get into fucking power in many cases. And yeah, anybody that says there wasn't voter fraud in Kamala's fucking AG's race and stuff like that, dude, get her ass in the power and stuff, is a goddamn liar. Legitimately, that bitch did not win legitimately at all ever in this fucking country for any position of power. So, anyway. Yeah, hopefully Floridians are going to be okay, but who knows, man. There's a lot of fucked up shit going on there, and all them damn hurricanes. So, gotta hurry up and eat this sandwich, though. Need to make sure I'm done before 1:40 or so, because I gotta go do some stuff and then get ready to roll out. Also get ready for the weekly thing for the game I got to play at 2 o'clock, so I want to make sure I'm ready for that, obviously. Hey, let's see here. It says 60 Minutes interview represented one of the first times Kamala sat down for a serious unscripted interview since joining the race with the host. Ask honest questions. Kamala has not sat for many local interviews in battleground states. She has mostly avoided national press and conducted 0 press conferences. Yeah, she proves that she's a fucking moron, is what it is, dude. And of course, you got this shit. Tim Walz with piece of shit Gavin Newsom pushes for any electoral college. Yeah, both of those goddamn traitors need to be fucking arrested for high treason at this point, dude, because both those guys are Chi-Com fuckboys for the fucking Chinese government. The fact that they're even walking free right now is absolutely a slap in the face to every citizen of this country right now, dude. Because they should both be arrested for high treason for that shit is what it is. For sucking off Xi Jinping and stuff like that is what it is there, dude. And selling on America to the fucking Chinese. So, anyway. So during Kamala's 60 Minutes interview, she was asked how she would pay for increased spending. She responded by arguing billionaires will pay for it, which is not a goddamn answer. It says Bill Billion, a reporter for Reason, slammed the answer as, quote, economically illiterate, with Tim Young ripping Kamala as the dumbest candidate ever, because she fucking is, dude. That's the entire point. Question was, how are you going to pay for it? Her answer, word salad. She's the dumbest candidate ever. Yes. So Kamala was asked about how she plans to stop the southern border invasion. She claimed Congress needs to, quote, fix the problem, triggering a Breitbart News fact check. Clay Travis, Outkick founder, slammed Kamala's response with a nonsense answer. Because she is nonsense, dude. She was often rambling answers to questions. Ruffin gave rambling answers to questions, was asked about why she changed her policy positions. She ran on 4 years ago, concluded that her, quote, values have not changed. Trump War Room X account mocked Kamala for not changing her Marxist values, while Liv's a TikTok account ripped her for being a total train wreck. Because she is. Says Kamala's misleading statements were not contained to her flip-flops. She also suggested she was elected the Democrat nominee, triggering another Breitbart fact check, which proves that she was not. She's a fucking goddamn liar at that point, dude. She was always selected to be the fucking bitch. So, yeah, it's just a bunch of fucking bullshit is what it is, dude. I'm so sick and tired of this fucking woman in general. So. Well, from my understanding, I guess there was the one guy that was on one of Guns and Barbecues chats a while back, a few years ago, that mentioned how he lived in California, and we were talking in a back chat once, and I was discussing to him, I was like, oh, because he was mentioning how you got like a bunch of like off-roster guns, and I'm like, oh, how'd you pull that one off? So I guess in the state of California, if you have family that lives outside of California, whether it be a brother, a sister, a parent, etc., they can actually you can actually have them transfer you guns that are off the California gun roster there. So potentially, they could go out, buy a gun as a gift for you, and have it be like a newest whatever at that point. Just have it sent to California. That's what it is. Which, to me personally, I would just leave the fucking state if I was those people and go buy my own shit in an actual free state in this country. So that's just me personally, but you know. That's why I'm fighting here in Ohio every single day, dude, because these goddamn Democrats do not stop here. They want to pass that issue 1 bullshit to basically have 10 Democrats, 5 of them claiming to be independents, control a map-making system that are unelected pieces of shit is what it is, dude. Well, falsely claiming it's not going to be lobbyists on the fucking thing, even though it's going to be 10 goddamn lobbyists, I guarantee it. Most likely 9 or even 10 of them are either going to be Moms in Action or Planned Parenthood people, would be my assumption, or have ties to those people, so it is them. That is why I have no problem finding a cheap-ass lawyer right now and bringing that person on retainer to sue the fuck out of this state if that does pass. Because I will never let that shit go into effect over at this point, dude. Fuck that noise. I will never let Democrats create a commission in my state of unelected pieces of shit who have no ability to be recalled, and they're going to do nothing more than gerrymander the hell out of the fucking red state is what it is then, to make it permanent blue. And if it came down to it, I'd fight these fuckers in the streets for that matter. It'd be one-on-one fist fights across the board then. I'd be like, and you're gone, and you're gone, and you're gone. Do some one-punch man shit. So, although hopefully a lawsuit would take care of all that. So, which hopefully it won't have to come to that because people will hopefully smarter and be smart enough to actually realize, like, no, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, thing is, I guess the only good thing with this whole thing is unlike the abortion crap that was in an off-year election cycle last year, this isn't a presidential election cycle. So it's more than likely you're going to have a lot of people come out and vote against that. And I personally have done enough job right now on X, on other social media sites, etc., to tell people what this crap really is, to where I think I've actually swayed a lot of people's vote at this point into the no category, thankfully. So hopefully that's the case, and hopefully it will never pass if that be the case. So anyway. Yeah, and that is true. Like, you would think if you're going to say, oh, I own a Glock or whatever, you'd be like, yeah, I own a Glock 17 or a Glock 19 or a Glock 26, whatever it's going to be. Yeah. Like, that's, or even like, you know, whatever the 45 gap one is. I guess you can all owning a 45 gap at this point, honestly, if he doesn't have a Glock at all for that matter, or any gun for that matter at all. So, but yeah, if you're going to say something like that, you're going to be like, yeah, it's this one or that one or this one or whatever the case be. It's like I was making the joke on Hana's chat last night. I said, yeah, knowing Kamala should probably owns a Glock 18 with the fucking full auto fun switch on the side of it there. So, and then other people were making jokes about she probably got like some like Temu fucking Glock switch on the back or something. Of like a 17 or a 19 or something. So, I don't know. I mean, knowing her, she probably stole the motherfucker from somebody else is what it is, but she actually does have one in her possession. So, I don't know, man. It's fucking crazy stuff. But, yeah, this bacon was good, though, for sure. I'm going to go ahead and get a bag here in a minute and put the rest of it in there and let it sort of crumble it up, like just shake it around in the bag or whatever, let it crumble up then. Stick it in the fridge for later so I can make it into some, like, little bacon bit pieces and stuff like that, and then throw it in my salad later. It'll be really good. So, I also found something interesting out the other day, which was a weird life hack, which is if you get like one of the pre-made salads at a restaurant over the case bean, it's in like the box thing or something. Supposedly, what you're supposed to do is the big old thing of salad dressing that comes with it. You tear that open a little bit and then stick it in the box, like part way or whatever. Clamp the box down, and you just like yank it back. So it like shoots all the fucking salad dressing into the salad then, and you just like sort of shake it up and mix it that way is what it is then. So it's a pretty good life hack, actually. Instead of, dumping it all over the shit is what it is then and not being able to get every piece of it out, that's what it is. Whereas doing it that way with the box and stuff or the plastic container, what it is there, it gets it like all the dressing out of the package then. Because it's like a tube of toothpaste basically being rolled out then. So... can't tell if I'm looking at a flower in a tree right now outside or if I'm looking at like a robin or a woodpecker because I'm seeing red. It almost looks like a bird. Can't tell. Yeah, it might just be the leaves changing too. That's possible. It is probably just leaves changing. Yeah, I know down at my aunt's place there was there's a lot of woodpeckers and stuff down there. Little teeny guys about yay big. It's very interesting how they move down trees and stuff too, because they'll sit there and they'll like land on the side of the tree, and then it'll just be like shuffle, shuffle, shuffle downwards is what it is to like their feeders down there, and then it'll just be like knocking its fucking little beak against the fucking feeder and like knocking all the bird seed and shit. So then of course there's I think it's barn owls are around there, and we'll fuck with a lot of those birds and shit too. My uncle back in the day when he was still alive, we'd always take old Christmas trees and put them down there for the birds to hide in, because it would be a mix of like hawks, falcons, and then these barn owls would come around. And there's also I forget what kind of bird it is. It's like some kind of crow or something. Or not, no, it's not a crow. It's I forget, some kind of big black bird that lives in the city of Ohio. And they'll do that same shit too, where they'll like fake their wingspan to be like that of like a hawk or a falcon or something like that. So all these other birds, they'll like little woodpeckers and everything else like that are there, or robins or whatever, will go and like swoop down into the tree line and shit like that so they don't get eaten. And then these dicks will come along and eat the rest of the fucking bird seed then. So, although one of the funniest ones I ever saw down there, here's a good story for you. It was, I believe it was Thanksgiving that we had gone down there for. And this was probably at least 5 years ago now, maybe 6. So like 18 maybe would make sense. 2018 is placing there. And maybe even 2017 for that matter. And I looked outside because my mom and my aunt and a couple other people were making some food and stuff like that. And I was sitting at the table, I was looking outside, and there's this big ass squirrel outside that has found its way up the tree and is like hanging off one of the fucking bird feeders, like just munching on this fucking bird seed. And I swear to God, man, like this thing had to be at least like a good 10 pounds. Like it was huge as fuck, bro. Like it just kept getting fatter and fatter because it was just sitting there eating like all the bird seed. And I'm like, yeah, that motherfucker's having himself a Thanksgiving feast, isn't he? And my uncle looks over, he's like, that son of a bitch, and then runs outside. And it's like, you get out of here. And like as soon as he made his way to the door and like ran down there, like I think he was about halfway down, you just see the fucking squirrel just like fall out of the fucking tree and go running. And I was watching this thing for probably a good 45 minutes, just eating that fucking birdseed out of that feeder. And then my uncle ended up grabbing some more seed and throwing it back into the feeder for the birds. That's what it was. So, but yeah, it was just funny. Oh, I miss Uncle Ralph. He was a great man. Unfortunately, he did took the old, you know what? The mainstream media kept pushing. And unfortunately, he took the ones that were a couple years. And he's gone now. And then mom did the same thing, and she's gone now. So it sucks, man. It really does. It's getting harder every day to go on anymore. So, both mentally and physically, for that matter. So, but at least I'm still here today, is what it is. And that's all that matters. So, hopefully I will feel better today after this adjustment. It's one thing I do need to definitely get is a. Since I have another card right now, I could probably go into Amazon one of these days soon and pick up an activator gun then, which will be good. Then I can start doing myself adjustments on the back and side and stuff like that, and on my knees and shit like I need to. So, see if it doesn't help out there someplace, but anyway. But yeah, other than that, though, I think that's pretty much what I'm going to be out for today. I think the bacon came out decently. Like I said, I think next time around I'd probably do it for about 10 minutes or so, maybe 12 minutes at most in the oven there, so 15. And then, as it is, these Arata hash browns are just not great. They might be better baked in the oven. They might be better done, in some fryer oil or something like that too, or even just getting like an air fryer and stuff like that and doing them in the air fryer or something like that maybe would do well. But yeah, cooking them in the toaster there compared to other ones, they just didn't come out good. So like they were edible, but they like barely. So they probably need. I would say honestly, because I think I put them in for about 4 times. They would need at least like 5 or 6. I think if they're going to be good. And by then they'd just be burned on the outside, and it's like, yeah, it's not good. So, but anyway. But yeah, it's not bad though. Like I said, I personally prefer the Giant Eagle ones to the Aldi's ones. Because both of those store brands are better than these ones were. So, this bacon is good though. It was I'm trying to think what kind of brand it was now. It would have been like some hickory done one or something like that. I think is what it was. Like Kirkwood or Kirkland or something like that. I don't know. It's whatever they had on sale at that time. So, but yeah. On that note, though, like I said, I got some stuff I got to do. So prepared for later today to go some places and stuff. And that's pretty much where I'm going to be at. So I'm going to go get changed and get ready to roll out for the day as it'll be and go from there. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been real. Hope you guys enjoyed this Cooking with Network episode. I will be back. I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow or not. I'm debating if I want to do buckshot tomorrow or not. The way I'm feeling right now, it's probably going to be a no. If I'm feeling better after the adjustment later today, maybe it'll be a yes. It all depends on what I'm doing tomorrow, obviously. Friday, I'm going to try to get out with my cousin to go to the place, do some reseller stuff. We haven't been there in over a month now, so I'd like to get back there and get some things. And then be able to then have like some stuff that I can obviously put up for Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or something like that. What it does then. Make a few dollars here and there. It'll be then, hopefully. But who knows? Nothing else. Maybe buy, sell, trade, or whatever the case be with somebody. So hopefully it won't be trade, but hopefully just be selling stuff to people. But it seems like anymore, from what a lot of my cousins and stuff have been telling me recently, it's like, seems like everybody and their brother wants to either just like trade you something that you don't want because they don't have any money to buy what you have, or it's you cannot find anybody that will buy it for the price you want for it, and then they're trying to undercut you to like $5 or $10 for an item that's like $25 or $30. So, which makes sense. It's fucking Democrat economy, dude. You know, nobody has any money because everybody's spending every nickel and dime they have on fucking food anymore, and rent costs and electricity and everything else like that. Gas is another one. My cousin and I were talking about that last night, actually, is how when he was driving through to bring my medication yesterday, he said he was looking at the gas station, one local gas station here, and the shit's jumped 30 cents in the last 2 days now. And it's like, Jesus Christ, man. That being said, I know for a fact that particular gas station has always been a bunch of price gouging motherfuckers. So even still, I mean, I could see it going up like 15 or 20 cents, though, in that time span. But it also makes sense for the increase to happen just because of the fact that, given the fact that you have all these wars going on in the Middle East and everything else like that now, and various conflicts with OPEC countries and stuff like that. So, which again is exactly why you don't deplete our fucking oil reserves the way it is in this country, and you actually produce locally and in nation. You know, it's like it's not that hard to fucking make domestic oil production and domestic gas production and stuff like that. But when you got a bunch of dumb motherfuckers who are trying to destroy our country because of their fucking bullshit backdoor backup countries, like enough is enough of this shit, dude. It's like Biden and company giving all of our transformers over to those assholes in Ukraine and stuff like that. And it's like, why the fuck would you give shit to them that we need here in case of natural disasters that would already be implemented here if we actually fucking had it, where you could have places like North Carolina, etc., be able to have fucking power again and be able to have communications going on with their families that would know that they're alive then, instead of these people that have had family there stuck wherever, don't know if they're dead, alive, or otherwise for that matter, or trapped under a fucking boulder for all we know, you know? So it's a bunch of shit, honestly, dude. But yeah, it's infuriating beyond belief at this point, honestly. But that being said, on that note, that's what I'm going to go ahead and leave everybody with. So it's just all frustrating as hell, man. But hopefully it'll get better. That being said, I can see it getting a lot worse whenever it does get better. So hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Do what you need to do. Keep your family safe. Keep your friends close. You know, make sure you know who your potential enemies are and be able to get away from those people, or at least, you know where the threats are located at that time, if that be the case for anything ever does happen. So you know exactly where to avoid, or, you know, what threats to deal with immediately is what it is if something doesn't go down then. But, yeah, you should always be threat assessing at this point, really. because there's definitely a lot of threats to the American people right now, whether it be the unelected criminal government itself, whether it be the X factor sleeper cells in this country, like the Chinese and the fucking Islamic terrorists and stuff like that, whether it be, all kinds of outside factors now, all the Venezuelan gangs that are coming in here now, all the fucking, Nicaraguan, El Salvadorian, Honduran, etc. Third worlders coming in here, whether it be the African illegals from places like Haiti and stuff like that are bringing all kinds of fucked up shit, whether it be cannibalism or whether it be all kinds of disease for that now we don't know enough to fight or combat because we don't have that shit over here is what it is then. And that's another thing too that bothers me the most is like, okay, you claim that you want to stop the country from being another pandemic, essentially, is what these Democrats, et cetera, are saying. But yet they are bringing in so many unvettable and unvetted people, like whether it be they're not vetted at all or whether it be they're actually not able to vet them, period. That could be a Typhoid Mary type. And it's like, why are you letting a bunch of people into our country that could be bringing in all kinds of fucking disease we don't even have the ability to fight against because we don't have it in this fucking nation? Like, it's next level idiocy is what it is, dude. And again, that goes back to the high treason stuff, because when you were trying to destroy the sovereignty of the nation and trying to actively kill the people of the fucking nation through potential biological warfare, like, no, your ass needs to be sitting in a prison cell at minimum for the rest of your life is what it is then. So, anyway. But, yeah, on that note, though, that's where I'll be at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Peace out, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Yeah, have a good one. And like I said, I might be back tomorrow for Buckshot. It might not be until Friday for potentially a Reseller Friday or something like that, depending. If nothing else, I'll do Freedom Friday for sure on Friday afternoon. Probably on Rumble. But yeah, as tomorrow, it'll be up in the air. And then, like I said, depending on what happens with Friday morning or not, the Reseller will be up for debate too at that point then. So if I know I'm not going to do a Reseller on Friday, I'll definitely do Freedom Friday, probably like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Then if I do, if I'm able to get out and do Reseller stuff, then it'll be the Reseller Friday. I'll be here on YouTube on probably about that time then, like 1, 2 o'clock plus in there. So, but anyway, till later. Peace out, y'all. And never forget, you got to come hard, fast, and ugly. Later, everybody.